Let's talk about 5 things that you can do when the man that you want starts to lose interest. And actually, how you can get him to chase you again. When you find yourself in this heart sinking moment when the guy you're into, he seems to slip away, and you're like, man, what the hell is happening? All of a sudden, like everything was here. Now all of a sudden, like things are changing, the dynamic is changing, and you're confused, right? What can we do in that moment? Don't worry, I'm gonna give you 5 strategies, 5 really, really important mindset shifts that are going to help you to make him have a lot of more interest in you again, and he's not going to slip away. So let's dive into this. We want to rediscover your magic and adding a little bit of mystery and making sure he remembers why he was smitten by you in the first place. So number 1 is rediscovering your magic. Remember the time when you picked up a new hobby and maybe it was painting, maybe it was dancing, maybe you were pole dancing, maybe it was like whatever it was, and it made you glow full of excitement. Maybe you all of a sudden like to go on walks or hiking or bicycling, or regardless of what it is. You know that moment when you have this new thing and you're just full of joy, like life becomes magical. You cannot wait to do this thing again, whatever it is, because you know how you feel, not just as you do the thing, but also how it makes you feel after, right? That newfound energy was so magnetic. So when you're passionate about your own interest, you radiate that confidence and this allure. And this self-focus really shifts the dynamic from waiting for his attention, which unfortunately happens quite a fair bit. We're doing all of these things just to get his attention, rather than doing all of these things because they're gonna light us up, they make us feel alive, they make us feel energized. And actively thriving to pursue these things, your own things, that's really so attractive to every single man, because there's also a bunch of men that not necessarily do that. So if someone else does it, it's almost like it's a reminder, yes, they can do it too, but it's definitely a reminder, yes, that energy exists, so let me be around that energy. That's the magic in itself. Hi. Did you know there's an ancient formula that can show you exactly what you need to do in order to experience the life and the love of your dreams? I'm going to share a little secret with you, because I teach this formula to all of my private clients, and the results that they have achieved just from these insights alone is absolutely incredible. And I call it the love alignment equation. And for a very short time, I'm inviting you to participate in a free 50-minute love alignment call with me or a member of my heart-to-heart team. All you have to do is click the link in the description, and if there's a booking link with available times, then you still have a chance to reserve your spot. So act fast before I decide to close this offer again. The second point is you want to create a little bit of space. When you're constantly around, when you have that friend who's constantly there, but sooner or later you realize there's nothing to talk about anymore, we're living pretty much the same life, it becomes a little bit boring over time, and there's a monotony to this, and it becomes more or less one-dimensional, regardless of how many things you do. If it's always the same person that you think, the same person that you talk to, the same person that you do all the things with, the same person that basically you're starting to think the same way, then it becomes really challenging to have new triggers of inspiration and creativity and joy. Sure, you can still enjoy your time together, but like I said, it becomes a little bit flat. So if you create a little bit more space, that can really help you to reignite interest of your own. By also, in creating that space, you allow him to miss you. And that's so important, It's not about playing these games, but allowing both of you to appreciate each other's presence. And if something is constantly around, then yes, I can appreciate the presence. But also, we know how it is. If I have this new car, everything's so beautiful in the beginning, like, oh my God, sooner or later, after a couple of years, or, for some it's sooner, for some it's later, it becomes like something is like, it's just what it is. That's my car. Nothing special about this anymore. I kind of want something new because I already had it for so. But if you drive that car only on the weekends, because, it's different, right? Maybe not the best example, but you get the gist. So the strategy of pausing and taking a little bit of space, not space in terms of disconnecting, but space to allow other sources of energy, other sources of creativity, of joy, of new ways of thinking, of new ways of being and behaving and believing can come into your life, then also you can bring that back to him. So he's going to be inspired and excited about that. And vice versa, he can do that with you too. So a little bit of space here and there is also really good. I remember a friend of mine, she literally, and I'm not going to lie, in 13 months, they've been only 2 days apart from the moment they met and came together. 2 days in 13 months. To me, it's a very, very challenging situation because where is your life outside of this relationship? Your whole life, your whole personality, your whole identity becomes just that relationship with him. And then sooner or later, unfortunately, they broke up because it was too intense, it was too much. And it's like, oh my God, I need to, Now she has to completely redefine herself because she doesn't even have a life outside of him anymore. So it's really, really important to here find a little bit of a balance as well. Not only to protect yourself, but also to protect that relationship. So it doesn't end up being like, we're just one. We want to have two individuals and they're both together creating another one. Not this, two sovereign human beings, and we choose to walk together. The third point, you want to be confident and you want to be sovereign. I don't mean confident and independent. I'm very consciously saying confident and sovereign. I think there's a big difference between these two. And especially nowadays, where everyone's like, I'm so independent, I don't need anyone. It's like, no. You do want them to need you. And you do need men too. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's actually beautiful. We men need you guys women as well. So why can we not just acknowledge that and lean into that and see the beauty and see the power and see like the magic that the other side brings to the table rather than completely dismissing it. Anyway, totally different point. Let's come back to confidence. Imagine someone who walks into a room with their head held high, chest up, not seeking for validation. I'm not like, here I am and this and that. It's like, no. You just like do your own thing, but you're radiating the self-assurance. You know who you are, you can stand, you can communicate, you can do, like nothing is gonna throw you overboard. That confidence is so magnetic. And if you struggle a little bit with this, that's absolutely no problem. That can be developed. And it's also not rocket science. I have helped so many women to become more of an embodied, confident, and integrated version of who they are. And it made all the difference in their personal life, in their love life, in their career, in all of their relationships. Because confidence and independence or sovereignty really makes you stand out. And it doesn't take so much in order to get there. When you're secure in yourself and you're not overly concerned what other people think of you or how they react, it really enhances your attractiveness and shows that you're thriving on your own, which can really draw him back into you. Because now all of a sudden he doesn't feel like you're completely dependent on him. Some men, sure, they might really need someone who's fully dependent on him. But I assume you probably don't necessarily want that, right? You want to be a strong, powerful, beautiful, integrated, confident version yourself. And you have a man who can hold you with all of this power and magnetism and magic that you radiate. The fourth point, you want to show genuine interest in his world. If you want him to come back, then recall a time when someone really showed real enthusiasm for your hobbies and your passions. How did it make you feel, right? It makes you feel really good. So show genuine interest because it makes them feel very special and very understood. And there's someone curious about them. There's someone curious about the things that they love, that they admire, that they desire, that satisfies them, that makes them happy, that makes them joyful, that makes them feel alive. That's something. If someone can talk about these things with someone and they're genuinely interested, oh my God, that's like so beautiful for each and one of us. So engage with him in his interests. It builds a deeper emotional bond and connection. And when you show that you genuinely care about like his passions and what he loves, it really strengthens the bond between the two of you for very obvious reasons, right? Sometimes maybe some will never do that, but these small compromises of like, let's say he is like a crazy sports fan and his favorite team is in town, let's just say soccer because currently I'm in Germany and like the favorite soccer team is in town, and he really wants to go, and his buddies can't go, or whatever, like, go with him. Sure, it might be not the best time that you can ever have, but it will make his day, right? And vice versa. Maybe you want to go to this movie, and it's a little bit of a chick flick, and it's a little bit of a romance or whatever, and he doesn't really like it, but you really want to see this movie. No one else has time. You would also appreciate so much if he comes with you, right? So show that genuine interest in his world, and then help him, for him to pursue these goals, for him to pursue these passions, and be there. Show up for him, encourage him, and participate if you can in them too. And the fifth part, if you really want to change the dynamics again between the two of you, I talk about this a lot and I can't talk about this enough. It's bring back a sense of mystery and a little bit of a challenge. Not like in a challenge like, hey, you can't have me, but more like a challenge, let's bring some cheekiness, some playfulness back. Let's bring some like, okay, some tension, but like in a very positive way tension, not in a negative way. The unpredictability can really help wanting him to have you more. So adding a touch of mystery and, maybe even being a bit of a challenge keeps the relationship excited, and when you're too predictable, when it's too easy, then the spark unfortunately really can fade. So therefore a little bit of an unpredictability really keeps him curious, it keeps him engaged, it keeps him excited, and it creates new emotions, new sensations, new excitement for the two of you. I can guarantee you when he is a little bit of a mystery and you don't know everything, and sometimes he does these things that are just come unexpected, and you're like, wow, where's this coming from? Like, just that spontaneity adds a little bit of a flavor, a little bit of a spice, and we all like it. So there you have it. Here are 5 really fabulous strategies to get him being interested in you again, to get him to chase you a little bit more again. And by rediscovering your magic, creating a little bit of space, embracing that confidence, so important, showing genuine interest in his world, in his passions, in the things that he loves, and participate in one way or another in them. And then adding just a dash of mystery, maybe also a little bit of a dash of a challenge in a playful, cheeky, fun, curious way. Bringing back that spontaneity and that unpredictability is something that always boosts the dynamic between the two of you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining this video. I hope you liked it. Drop it in the comments if there's anything else that you think like, oh, this really helps in order to intensify the dynamic between the two of you and bring back that curiosity and like him being intrigued in everything that you do. Also, if you test any of these things and you might have not done this before, let me know how that feels. What's your takeaway from all of this? We want to know. All these other ladies that are going to watch this video, they are probably curious about that too. What else is there? And then always do not forget, if you're not subscribed yet to my channel, please do so right now. Just click on the subscribe button. It helps us a lot and you're always getting notified when the new video is coming out.